go, dude.
Just when you talk, try to talk like close to the mic.
Just keep in mind this will be either one of the many times you're on the podcast or the last time.
Cool, man.
Just keep in mind there's a million people listening right now.
Right on, dude.
We have millions of potential subscribers.
Potential subscribers?
Yeah.
All right. I'll make sure to focus
This will be all for our tens of fans.
Tens of fans.
Tens of fans.
Dude,
We
my
gotta do
grandma's
it.
listening, so
Yeah.
yeah.
What's
Better
up?
be good.
What's up, Nana?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Betamax. My name is Fidel, and joining me, as always, is Eddie, Birdie, and Jose.
Hi.
What's up, guys? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hit the applause. There we go. There we go.
Dang.
I faintly heard that. I like
That was meant for me, not for you. What's up, dude? How you been?
that. Busy.
Busy?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Uh,
That's all the time we have today.
just kind of just trying to make our next move,
Yeah.
for the family,
Yeah.
And at the same time, kind of just working on some more music stuff, so just busy, dude. And I'm working, I got a lot going on at work,
Yeah.
so something I'm very focused on. So my attention's, all over the place. So
Yeah.
just busy overall.
Adult shit.
Just adulting, man.
Adulting.
It's difficult.
Yeah. So you've been on the podcast before.
Yes.
For those the long-time listeners, probably remember you from our Power Violence episode.
How long ago was that?
That was episode 8, and where this is going to be episode 94.
Was it like 2018? 19?
Maybe. Something like that.
Dang.
Because you weren't doing it at that time
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah, it was in the garage.
And
Yeah.
I was living with Jose.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, it was like either 2018 or 2019.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh man, this podcast thing is pretty cool. I'm gonna go live with Fidel.
What do you remember from your experience with that? Like, did you enjoy it, or did we suck, or?
No, I just remember it was cool. Like,
Yeah.
you guys have definitely stepped your game up from there.
That's
You
what's
know,
up. I know we have our own table now.
I know it's pretty sick.
What's the name? I know we got fold-up chairs with like a pillow
Dude,
on it, dude. We made it.
dude. You guys are a league of your own.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So I kind of wanted to do this something similar to what we did with Evan, where we talk about like our history with each other. So do you remember how me and you met?
Not specifically, no. I have like I know that I remember we were going to school together,
Yeah.
and you were more in a group of friends that were like the metal kids,
Yeah.
like the metal dudes that hung out in a different area.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out with like Jacob and such like punk hardcore kids.
Yeah.
So like I knew of you, and then we kind of just through music and mutual friends kind of just linked up, mostly through Evan.
Yeah,
'Cause
I would
know
say
you
through
guys-
Evan.
Yeah, because you guys were hanging out a lot when you started living with me. When I was on that house off of I can't remember the name of that street. That's not Keller. Campbell.
Campbell.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like seeing you around a lot more then.
Yeah.
Cause you were in Albert at that time already, right?
Yeah, like, because I do remember seeing you at Novi. Like,
Yeah.
my memory of you is super tight pants, big hair.
Yeah.
And I remember you had like an anti-Pepsi sign with you or something like that.
Yeah, it was a bunch of things. Different things like that.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, I remember seeing you around, and then like I knew Evan because we grew up in the same neighborhood, and then we both started going to Alvord, and I would drop him off like when he started living with you at your house, and then just hanging out like with Evan at your house, and just like fused just the group of us.
Yeah, I feel like it didn't get like to the level of like a friendship that we have right now until Kitty Hawk.
Yeah, no,
Like,
yeah,
because that's when me and Evan, we had always shared a room, but I don't know. I feel like we were, I guess like our schedules were better synchronized at that point in time.
yeah,
And that's when everybody would be kicking it a lot.
Yeah.
You know, at that house, and we all became like super, like, tight like that.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was a Campbell house for sure. I remember first.
Because I also remember the first time seeing you after high school.
Really?
was it was like at a backyard show that Impact was playing by the mall.
Okay.
Because I remember walking up and being told I looked like a cholo. Because I had like my tall tee. That's when I was dressed. I had a shaved head, tall tee.
Yeah, you had no hair and you were in like a pro club.
Yeah, pro club, white,
Yeah.
tall tee.
Yeah.
And I had like baggy pants probably.
Yeah, you walked up here like, I was like, what's up, food? You're like, yeah.
But yeah, like that. I remember that was the first time I saw you after high school.
Oh, yeah.
Because Victor had invited me to that.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like it had like a backyard, little courtyard area that was cemented up to the side of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun show.
What about your memory of these guys, meeting these guys?
I remember the first day
Meeting Jose?
I met Jose.
Yeah, what do you? I don't know.
It's fucking tight.
Is it really?
Yeah. So.
Are you being sarcastic?
No, I'm being dead serious. By the time I met you, I had already become like really close to your brother Bobby, and like we were just kicking it all the time. And it was like during a time where we were both like kind of like he was showing me the ropes on drums. We were like both learning off each other, and I remember he invited me over. It was me, Val, and Brandon, and we went over there. And at this time, I have like heard about you.
Mm-hmm.
But you were still like new. I don't know. I didn't know who you were.
Just Bobby's brother?
Yeah, I was like, oh, my brother Jose, blah blah blah. Like, and he was just something like, oh, that's who I jam with, and blah blah blah. So we went over there one day, and it was my first time in your room. This is the Kitty Hawk house.
Yeah.
And I remember like me, Val, and Brandon were like sitting on somebody's bed, and you and Bobby were jamming, doing your thing, and then I don't know, Bobby whipped out a sidekick. He's like, here, dude, you jam. Like he like disappeared, and he threw the drumsticks at me, and I was like, okay. I was like, hey, what should I play? And he's like, dude, he knows everything. Just play whatever you want. And I sat down on the drum stands. You were like waiting for me to to do something, and I was like, you know Infest? And you just nodded like a fucking badass, like, yeah. And I was like, all right. So like, I'm not even gonna tell him what song, and then automatically, dude, I hit the snare twice, and you already knew.
Yeah, dude.
It was Sicko.
Yeah, dude.
And that was like our first like thing. Like it was a fucking.
Damn.
We covered Sicko by Infest.
Are you guys gonna make out right now?
I'm about to.
I it kind of feels like it's appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's like the first time I met you. Like we fucking jammed
No, that's
out.
tight.
Yeah.
That's tight, dude. No, that's cool. I'm gonna romanticize that song because of that forever. I don't have that specific memory, but I do remember that we would jam out a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and always kind of like an accident. And then like I remember we were jamming like crazy like locust type shit at one point.
Yeah, that was like after a while.
Yeah,
like,
after a
when
while,
we started
yeah.
doing. It's funny, dude, because like back to our first mingle. When we finished jamming, you were like, damn, dude, Bobby, like, I wish I had your friends. Your friends are tight. And Bobby's like, what do you mean? You have cool friends? And you're like, no, I got friends like Fidel. I'll never forget it, dude. I don't think Fidel was there, but that shit, like, always stuck with me because I thought it was funny.
Damn, that's fucked up.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I remember like not specifically that, but just like you coming along around like with my brother and his friends, you know, like Val, Brandon. Like I remember you guys were like the ones that first started coming around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you guys were cool. I was like, man, I taught this fool well.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like after that we started jamming. We started like a few projects together, played a few house shows, and you know, friends ever since.
Yeah. You played 2 Hit 'Em Where Her shows.
Yeah.
That's what's up. What about Birdie?
I do have a very specific memory of Birdie prior to us being like cool, really good homies. I remember I was in ACDC and we were playing a show at the Blood Orange, I think it was. I can't remember which exact show it was, and it was in that lower level.
Yeah.
And it was like at the end of our set, I hear like the signal drops, like something got unplugged or whatever. So, the song was going. So we finished. Dude comes up to me at the end of our set and he's like, "Hey man, I'm sorry, I was the one who stepped on your pedal." And I was like, "No, fuck that!" And dude jumped, dude. Like, I felt bad, and I was like, "Oh no, man, I'm just kidding. Like, no, it's cool, don't worry, you know." And then, yeah, I don't know. We just kind of like, from there, we just kind of stayed in contact to the best of my knowledge, and then.
Yeah, I remember that interaction. Yeah, you did make me jump because I was like, because I didn't know you, and like ACxDC was like popping off at the moment, so I was like super like, oh man, I want to watch these guys play. And then like, I love the music, and then being able to interact with any of you guys. And I remember, yeah, I remember that. And then I remember you, being like, nah, fuck that. And then I was like, oh, he's going to hit me, dude. But yeah, and then, you know what's funny, dude? I feel like I met you because of Sergio. Because I remember I got pretty close to Sergio before I got close to you.
Oh, Sergio.
Midnight Hour.
Oh, Sergio Alfitano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because me and him had been we were talking like almost every day. We were texting like almost every day, and this was obviously before like he had kids.
Yeah.
Before like he had like an actual good amount of time.
Yeah.
Like he used to always like send me shit like on Facebook. Like he used to like always ask me if I was like in a band. Like me and him got pretty close at the time, and then he started telling me about Jose. He's like, oh, where do you live? I was like, oh, you should hang out with our guitarists. Like he lives around the area. And it's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. And then eventually me and Jose started bumping into each other, and then that happened. And then I remember the point where me and you actually started popping off as like good friends was when Ruben came back.
I remember that night.
Because I remember when you posted like on Facebook, like saying, hey, like my homie's coming back from like fucking Afghanistan or some shit, and like I need a ride, like can anyone help me out? And I remember messaging you being like, hey dude, like I remember I was nervous about messaging you because like we had just interacted, we weren't friends or anything.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, this is probably gonna be lame, but I'm gonna do it anyways. But I remember messaging you and just being like, hey, I'm down to give you a ride, man, like let's go. And you were like, sick, like where do you live? And like I ended up picking you up, and then like we just hit it off from there.
Yeah. It was a fun thing.
Yeah.
Wait, so that was the first time you guys like hung out?
Yeah.
Because that's the first time me and you hung out too.
Oh, really?
Because I was there. I don't know if you remember.
Because we had always been around each other, and we
Yeah.
had interacted and kind of hung out. Because like I was in a band and he was in a band,
Yeah.
so we were always at shows like chopping it up.
Because I don't know if you remember then I was there at Alexis' parents' house because Ruben was coming back.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah.
the three of us. And then I think you floated the idea of going to a bar. Like, oh, we should go to a bar. And then I was like, hey, is your homie like 21? Because I thought you were underage for some reason.
Yeah, because I remember that. Because I remember Jose was like, oh, I think he like got in my car, and then he was like, oh shit, I forgot my watch. I forgot a watch. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he came back. He's like, oh, I have to give my friend Fidel a watch because he gave me like a jersey or something. So I want to give him something back. I remember being like, oh, that's cool. And then like I met you at that location. And
Yeah, because I remember thinking like you weren't 21 yet, so I was like, "Hey, is your homie up? Like, or can we go?"
Yeah.
Because you were floating ideas. I remember you floating ideas of what to do because we didn't want to stay there to chill in their backyard. And then you had brought up a bar, and I was trying to come up with stuff that we could do that didn't require ID because I thought he wasn't 21.
I think I was like just 21 at that point.
Probably.
Yeah, I think I had just turned 21. But
I remember you were like, "Nah, dude, like he's 20, like he has an ID, like he can." I was like, "Oh, okay."
In retrospect, that's hella funny, dude.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was the first time you guys actually like hung out like that.
That was the first time I think where we were just like, we should be friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I think we were talking at least a lot in regards to like music stuff too. Because you were still doing your band at the time.
Yeah.
Vomit Bastard. Because I keep getting the two confused. Because there's Manny's the Bastard too.
Yeah.
Because that's how I got more connected with you. Also, because I was friends with those guys.
Yeah. And those guys were like friends with you, and they'd always tell me about you too.
Yeah, and you guys were like brother bands, you know.
Yeah, we were always hanging out with those dudes. We were always around them.
The Bastard Crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was us, Manny's Bastard, and Planet Vegeta.
Yeah.
Which was Dustin and his brother.
Derek. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all just always hanging out. It was like the closest thing to like Demon Crew that we could come up with.
Yeah.
Because when we hung out, like we weren't trying to get fucked up or get high or do
Yeah.
anything. Like we just wanted to fucking enjoy, like, you know, what was
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, that's like the fun stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Like it reminded me of that kind of shit, you
Yeah.
know. So I mean, I can't help it to be like, oh, that's cool, you know, drawn to it.
Yeah, yeah, but that was when the friendship started. But I mean, prior to that, yeah, we had hung out like at shows and shit like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
that was the beginning, and then now we're here.
I like Eddie's story better though.
So how did Hit 'Em Where It Hurts started then? I know it was like birthed from Impact.
How did it started?
How did it started it?
Well, because you know, like we had Impact,
Yeah.
and at one point it was my brother and I and Sergio Galvin
Mm-hmm.
and Victor Francisco.
Tirado.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe that was it.
Yeah, because the show I went to where I looked like a cholo,
Mhm.
that was the lineup.
Yeah. So that's like, I don't know. That was short lived. But
Mm.
I remember that had a different style to it.
Yeah.
So we were kind of jamming something in the room. I remember just randomly, just you know, in normal, pick up the guitar and start jamming, right? And we wrote just like really just on the spot, like the What Blows Up song.
Yeah.
Just banged it out real quick, and we looked at each other. We're like, "Fuck, that's
This is just you and Bobby?
yeah, me and Bobby."
Okay.
We looked at each other and we're like, "Dude, that was tight."
Yeah.
You know, so we just kind of like kept adding like more layers to it, you know. And I came up with the lyrics on the spot, you know, and we were like, man, this doesn't sound like Impact though, you
Yeah.
know, like this sounds a little more like harsh, you know,
Yeah.
like more aggressive, like that was something different. So we just kind of we immediately just went to the homie Tom's studio, Tom Arley,
Yeah.
and we went to his studio, which was at his house at the time, you know. When it was garage, and we recorded that one song, dude, and it came out pretty sick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all about it, and it fired us up, you know. But we wanted it to be a separate thing from Impact,
Yeah.
so that's kind of how it started. And then we just kind of wanted to write more music like that, you know, and just kind of express ourselves like that, because that band is, you know, it's loud.
How did Sergio get involved?
Well, Sergio and I were friends from just playing Fontana shows and stuff because he was an ARM.
Yeah.
So he and I were homies for a good while because of that. And I don't know, we were hanging out a lot, and he just told me, like, we were jamming one time, and he just jammed with me and my brother, I think, and we was like, dude, this is so sick. And he just kind of like started trying to add elements, and we were like, man, you're speaking my language, like,
Yeah.
you know, like I like where your head's at with this, you know. So then we just kept writing and we was like, dude, like, do you want to just make this like a band, like just the three of us, you know, and we'll just play shows every now and then, you know, whenever you go into town, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it worked. Like, and it wasn't like a problem. It was cool. And then obviously, like, when he was gone, when he's at home in Arizona at the time, like, my brother and I did most of the writing, you know. So we would just write some stuff and we would jam it, and he would pop in, and then we would teach him the songs, and he would learn them like that. And, you know, we're like, all right, let's play these things, you know. Let's find somewhere to, you know, cause some trouble.
Do you remember the first show?
I do.
Where was it?
I do. It was kind of across the street from where I'm living right now,
Really?
off of Arlington. Yeah, we. So the way I did it, I don't know why I did it like this. It was really stupid. But I was trying to pretend that it was a different band of people that I knew, but was not me or my brother. So I remember, I think it was like Josh Burke. You know, hyping this band up to him. Like, I had come up with this imagery. I made a whole like MySpace or something for it, and it was just like this new up and coming like group. I was trying to, like, I don't know, be funny.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, this is so sick. And I'm like, right? Like, dude, these guys are bad as fuck. And then he was showing some of the other dudes, and they thought it was cool, right? So I was like, bro, like, I can get them on that show. But, and it was like some hardcore bands, dude. Like, but like not hardcore, like, you know, like a lot of fingerboard like tapping, you know, like and breakdowns and spin kicks and shit.
Yeah.
So we didn't fit in there at all. So we're pulling up, and everybody's here, and I was pretending that they were late. And so then I walked outside of this house, and there was three of us, and then we all put shirts over our heads and like tied them, like where you look like a ninja.
Yeah.
And we went out there with just our faces covered. We fucking started playing like 3 songs, dude. We banged it out. You start throwing shit around, and just acting like lunatics. And then we pulled the shirts off over our heads, and then the homies were like fuck yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And that was the first show, dude.
I remember that show. I was
You
there.
do?
It was it was in a backyard. It's like a field. It was like nothing but dirt.
It's like right there by Loma Vista.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny. It was really stupid, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. I guess it was kind of funny.
Was anybody like, what the fuck? It was you guys the whole time type of thing?
Yeah, I remember, like I told you, Josh.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, what the fuck?" You know, like
That's
that
tight,
was
dude.
funny. I love that guy.
So how long was like Hit 'Em Where It Hurts going until like you transitioned into ACxDC?
So, because Hit 'Em Where It Hurts was like maybe 2007, right?
Yeah.
Like 2007 and around, and then we recorded that stuff that I have on Spotify for it. That was recorded in 2008, you know, and I have my reason to hold on to it. And I believe it was 2009 or around that time, we were playing a couple shows with ACDC.
Well, no, wasn't it with Liberate?
Oh yeah, it was Liberate. Yeah, that's right. There was 2 shows. One in like La Puente, and the other one was like in Anaheim. Yeah, and then we just covered a couple of ACDC joints, and then Sergio was on the vocals, and just the response seemed kind of like I don't know. It was like, oh, dude, this is kind of a cool idea, you know. So I think around 2009 is when I kind of was doing both.
Yeah.
But my brother kind of was getting, because he had come on to play drums initially for ACDC at the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I
So,
remember him telling me he's like stoked.
Yeah,
he's
dude.
nervous too.
Yeah. That was like the rapid fire ACDC era, dude. Like that.
Dude, those shows with Bobby,
Dude.
fuck, dude.
Dude, he was a beast.
Yeah.
It was a little too crazy, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Then he just kind of got his life, you know, he was going on his own, like, you know, adult journey, you know. So like we kind of went our separate ways, and in that respect, you know. So from there, like, I just kind of was like, well, I have like these dope ass songs, you know, that I don't want to let go to waste. So I kind of just started saying like, hey, we should just use these, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like they would fit in because, like, I mean, I'm adding a lot of my own style into the creative process, anyways, you know. So and it kind of worked out. I mean, things were tweaked here and there, you know, to better fit with the sound at the time, you know. But there was like a good 3 or 4 of them that we had used. Like there's like one song that was something that we had only played like live, and it was never recorded. But yeah,
This was on the split, right?
yeah, I think you can hear
Yeah.
those on the split.
On the split. I can't remember what other band it was though.
Wasn't it with Sex Prisoner and Magnum Force?
Yeah. Shout out to Sex Prisoner and Magnum Force, dude. Those are my boys.
Those
Man,
bands
they're
are
sick.
so sick, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I miss Magnum Force.
Yeah, dude.
Sex
But-
Prisoner is so good.
Yeah, Sex Prisoner's fucking sick. I remember the Anaheim show because I had known of ACxDC from Evan in high school. I remember him listening to him on his iPod.
Yeah. It
was
was our
like-
favorite band, dude.
Yeah, I remember him like,
Yeah, it
dude,
was like our
this
favorite
band's
band
like
ever.
fucking sick. And at that time, that's when I was like really into like beatdown and Southern hip hop. So I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like this shit's way too crazy. Like, nah, I'm not.
like-
I'm not into it.
So like Throwdown and
Oh, dude,
Outcast.
basically, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it was like all fucking bury your dead, throw down, hate breed, like that type of shit. But I remember him showing me, and I was just like, nah, it's not for me, man. Like it's cool, but it's too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's too crazy. Like I'm not really into it. But then when I started hanging out with you more, that's when I started getting more into like that style of hardcore, like power violence, whatever, like,
Yeah, like the
faster
faster,
shit.
yeah.
And so, that's when I became more familiar with like Infest, Crossed Out, bands like that, you know?
Yeah, and the rabbit hole got so much deeper.
Yeah.
For you, because it was basically you were like a hardcore nerd. You know?
Yeah.
We were all like hardcore nerds at that point in time. You know.
Yeah. So like when I revisited them, I was like, yeah, like this is definitely something I like now.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had not met Sergio yet, and you're like, oh yeah, I had told you I was gonna be in Anaheim that weekend of that show at my sister's, and I think you had asked me for a ride or something to the show, but you were gonna get a ride back. I don't know. I remember the situation exactly, but I remember you said like I'm gonna try to convince Sergio to do a We Kill Christians, like with him on vocals, and I was like, you think he'll do it? And you're like, I don't know, but we'll see. And
Yeah, because that wasn't something. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think we really planned it out. I think he and I like kind of just like talked about it, but it was like not like set in
yeah.
stone. So, but we kind of like were like, yeah, I guess just let me know.
Yeah, and then I remember being at the show, and it was like in some backyard, and I remember was it Goner, the 2-piece?
There was a couple of 2-piece bands.
There was a
playing
2-piece band that was like really fucking good.
I think it was Goner.
I didn't think it was Goner. They played, and then you guys were about to play, but then my sister called me and said she needed my help with something.
Yeah, then you had to bounce.
So I had to bounce. And then I left, and then like 20 minutes passed, and you called me, and you're like, dude, you missed it. Like Sergio like did the song with us, and we're going to talk about possibly bringing ACxDC back. Because he wasn't doing it anymore at that time.
No, yeah, they weren't. It had been some time.
But yeah, I remember that, and I was like, what the fuck? I missed it.
Yeah, dude. Dude. That was a cool show, man. I had fun on that one. Like I remember like how excited I was, or my brother and I how excited we were to like have come up with that idea. I can tell you right now that the way we thought we had stumbled on how to play that song was completely wrong.
Really?
Yeah. Now that I know how to actually play it. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it was close, ballpark, but no, it was funny. It's cute.
But that was like around the time like we were going to a lot of house shows because of Hit 'Em Where It Hurts, you know?
Yeah, because we were just trying to play, especially when Sergio's in town. Like we play whatever we could get. Because I mean, we never really played shows without him. We've only played maybe a couple of shows without him, but we had someone play with us.
Yeah.
So, whenever he was in town, if we can get on more than one show, we would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was times when Sergio would just roll with us to whatever shows that we were going to and just act like a buffoon,
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one in, I think it was also Anaheim, but it was in a front yard, and the cops showed up.
So we moved it into the garage.
Dude,
that shit got crazy.
Like, I'm so mad my camera died because I was recording it, but my camera died.
Yeah, there's footage of it on YouTube, but like it's so dark.
That's my footage.
Oh, that's your footage. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I remember Evan swinging from the rafters and like kicking people.
Yeah.
And it was so hot, so packed in there.
It was super fun though, dude.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Off, bro.
I remember there was this one band that covered "Off My Chest" by Carry On.
Yeah.
And it got crazy.
Yeah, it was the band that the homie like Juan was playing in at the time. Yeah, I remember that they did do that Carry On cover. Yeah,
that was
that's
tight.
sick. That was a cool show, dude.
The house show at Justin's, did that happen before you joined ACxDC, or you were already in it?
I think I had to have already been in it because Hordes played that show.
Yeah.
And I had stopped jamming with like Hordes because I had gotten so busy with ACDC. So yeah, I had to have been mixed up with ACDC for a while at the time.
How did that show come about? Like, what was all the planning that went into that?
Oh man, I don't remember, dude. Honestly, like it kind of spun out of control. I just knew that like Justin had the idea, and he had approached me, and he's like, since you know how like bands and like whatever, like we're moving, so can you?
The house is gonna be empty.
Yeah, we wanted to I want to do like a house show, like, and just do like a moving out party. And I was like, about to bite more than you can chew, homie.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was down, dude. So then I just started like asking people to play.
Birdie played.
Yeah, they were one of the last groups to join on because I remember it was Mayonnaise the Bastard, and they're like, "Oh, we can do a split set with Von Bastard." I was like, "Bro, this show keeps getting better and better," you know. Because then like random like vendors like were deciding to just do things there. Like I remember,
Yeah, in the backyard.
Yeah, in the backyard, and then the neighbor like there was like Hawaiian dude, and he was like, "Oh, what's up? Like I'm gonna be cooking up some Hawaiian barbecue for you guys." And like, shit, dude.
And then Amber had the kitchen. She was making food.
Yeah,
and like,
yeah. And then the homie had his distro out there. Like it turned out to be like like a cool like DIY setup, and it kind of just. Like I remember even Amber had the signs like for her bakery.
Yeah.
There are a lot of like.
It was like a menu. Right?
Yeah, a lot of care went into it, dude. Like it was. It was cool.
They had like some clever names, like I don't know, like it was like Mayonnaise the Bastard biscuits or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, Bomba Bastard pizzas and shit. You know,
dude,
it's pretty clever.
Dude.
Yeah.
I don't remember like putting too much planning into those aspects of it. I know that Justin kind of just had like this canvas, you know, and I was just pinning like a portion of it, and then other people were just adding, you know, and kind of just turned into what it was, dude, you know.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah. But fun though. Like,
then the chaos had ensued. Yeah, and I remember because Bobby was really gonna play, but you know he had prior engagements, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, it was a no-brainer to have Eddie do it because. The whole point was I needed somebody who can beat the shit out of their drums fast, you know, and Eddie was, you know, he was able to do that. Yeah. You know, so I remember we
jammed once before that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, dude, I only had a couple days to learn the songs, so you burnt me
of those hidden CD, tracks that I had kept to myself, and you were the only one to have heard them.
Yeah, and I remember the disc you put like Eddie and Jose BFFs with like a bunch of hearts, and I had posted it on Facebook, and like, dude, people were like offering me to pay me like to buy it off of me.
No shit.
I'm like, dude, this is just like a burn thing. Like I'm used to learn the songs and stuff, but yeah, people like were hitting me up like, hey, dude, how much do you want for that? Blah blah blah.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy. I mean,
but I remember, I was like stoked. You hit me up. I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm down. I'm so down. And I'm like, damn, I have big shoes to fill. You know, like, obviously going to your shows. I'm like, okay, like I gotta do something to like be like prove myself, I guess. And I think I even like had messaged you like, hey, dude, like, would it be cool if I like start chucking my drum set at people? And I think you just replied, dude, yeah, you're in Hit 'Em Where It Hurts, like, go for it. Or something like that. And I remember thinking, okay, like, maybe not for my first show, but, like, maybe my second or third, like, I'm going to start fucking, like, throwing cymbals and shit at the crowd. Like, just try to be as crazy as I can. But that house show was nuts, dude.
I know.
It was bad.
Like, it would escalate, right? And then you're just like, man, it feels like that this house party could not get any crazier. And then something crazier would happen. Yeah. You know?
It just kept escalating. And
I remember rehearsing for that for a while, and I was like, had that wall of sound going, you know?
Yeah.
And then there was like a point in time where there was like a song that we were playing, and it was supposed to be just like a simple like build up, but like something happened to the sound, so it was just like a bunch of like buzzing and like feedback. And then dude just kept playing like this build up part, and all I remember hearing is it's just the sound of like people's fists hitting other people's faces, you know. And then like there's like a 40 bottle like in this what do you call this, like a chandelier.
Yeah.
And it was like swinging, like, you know, and it was the only light. And then somebody had like got knocked up against like a light switch, and I think I saw it like it popped from the switch, like the whole like lighting in the living room went down, and it's like, dude, like this is fucking Hit 'Em Where It Hurts.
I remember at one point, like in the middle of our set, like I'm jamming out. I look up, and like I never look up when I'm jamming. Like I'm just focused, and I happen to look up, and I just see this fucking 40 ounce like flying towards my face,
dude.
And like I remember I just kind of like moved my head aside. And I felt the fucking breeze, like it flew right by my head. Like if I didn't look up, that shit would have smashed right into my face, dude.
So epic,
that would have been sick, but.
Dude, it was so wild. I remember, like, even during the Misfits cover, it was fucking crazy.
I forgot about
because I remember I had to hold shit up for you guys because things started falling over.
That was like the big plan.
I remember you seeing you, like...
I was like, oh, shit.
Like, dude, that was so much fun.
They got so scary that I was like I think my girl was there at the time. And like I told her, like, you should go outside because
It was getting wild.
It's gonna get pretty fucking nuts. Like it's getting nuts.
Yeah, like somebody got like their nose broken and like an arm maybe got like busted or something like that.
Yeah. and-
Frank slit his wrist
Yeah. And
with
then,
like I don't know where that was. It a computer monitor? Or?
I think that was during Hordes, right?
Yeah,
when
yeah.
they smashed the CRT.
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
Yeah, but
I think
he was like banging it with his hands for some reason. Like he ended up slitting his wrist, and his girl had to take him to the hospital. And he was like drunk too.
I remember that.
before they took him to the hospital, though, Mia actually had him in the restroom stitching him.
Oh, that's right. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Because I guess she asked Justin if he had like a sewing kit, and she was like
Yeah.
stitching, and then they took him.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
he was
remember
bleeding a
that.
lot.
He was bleeding a lot.
He was
Yeah.
bleeding a lot.
And then there was multiple fights that had broke out.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
and
and,
then
like,
some fucking maniac with a bat was like in the middle of the pit for some reason, just swinging it like it was fucking like.
You guys don't remember who that was? I don't want to
Some
say their
fat
name
dude.
on here. No, it wasn't him.
No?
That's not the guy you're thinking of.
Oh no, wait, wasn't it the guy that was like always hanging out with like whores and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy was like a scary looking dude. He had like a fucking big ass neck tattoo, and like he always had his hair slicked back.
You
like,
know who he's talking about, right? I don't want to say his name because I don't know if like.
I don't know his name actually, but I interacted. I used to always interact with that dude because I'd always go to like horde shows and
Yeah.
I'd see him, but he'd always be a nice guy. He'd always
Yeah,
be
no,
like,
he's a super nice
yeah, he'd
guy.
be like, oh, hey, what's up? I
But
was here at horde
he would
show."
go hard for
Yeah,
hordes.
he would fucking like. He'd be the guy that when they would start playing, if you were anywhere close to them, he'd punch you in the face.
Oh yeah.
Like he'd fucking punch you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know because it happened to me. I forgot what show they played, like at a pizza place or some shit in San Bernardino.
Oh yeah, Maxwell's Pizza.
Yeah, but I was too close, and like he fucking came out of nowhere and fucking smacked me right on the fucking nose, dude. That shit hurt.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's tight.
But yeah, like outside of a horde set, super nice guy.
Yeah,
Huh.
but as
Super
soon as,
nice guy.
as soon as that fucking music started playing,
Oh,
turned into a demon, dude.
Yeah,
like a
dude.
fucking violent demon. Fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
Because like hordes and you guys ended up getting that reputation of like it was dangerous to see you guys play.
Yeah, but we weren't like we would just like throw shit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was never like they were really pushing it.
Yeah, 'cause-
Yeah.
They were doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
was just like, I don't know, man. There's like a line and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
They were just like, no, fuck a line.
Yeah, because Jacob would. He
Oh,
would.
dude.
He would like. He would be the another guy. Like as soon as Mark's app would make any noise, like he would just go nuts too.
Yeah.
Like if you were close, he'd fucking kick you in the stomach. Dude.
Yeah.
I remember filling in on guitar for Hordes for what I think it was Power of the Riff
Oh, at the Echo.
at the Echo, if I'm not mistaken.
That show was super fun too.
And I remember Jacob had approached me, and he was like, "Hey, man, during this song in the set or whatever, like, just like I'm gonna pick up a trash can and I'm gonna start throwing shit around." He's like, "So, just do whatever the fuck you want." I was like, "Oh hell yeah, dude!" Mind you, this time I've been in ACDC for a while, you know, so it's kind of like I had gotten in trouble for wrong band, you know.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, dude, say less.
Say less.
Say less. So I still have a piece of the missing from the back of my guitar from that.
Damn.
Because I fucking threw that thing. He was throwing the trash around. You know, but like, even after that, that's when they were like lighting off the fire extinguishers and such, dude.
At the Blood Orange.
Yeah, dude.
I remember that.
And they were like, so they had the CRT at Justin's house, but they also were lighting fireworks, correct?
Yeah. Somebody was.
Somebody was lighting fire, but it was during that same like while
It was nuts.
while
It was
Armageddon was
just like-
occurring in Justin's living room, like fireworks.
Like
just
anybody who
happened.
had a mischievous thought in their head that night,
Yeah,
they were
dude.
like, I'm doing it. Like, I'm bringing fireworks, I'm bringing a bat, I'm bringing a TV.
I
like-
think it was just like everybody had this idea of like, oh, they're moving out of this house, like let's burn it down, you know.
Possibly because do you remember Justin's dad almost fighting Mark?
Yeah, I
Not
remember
Mark
that.
from Hordes. Mark. He had like his own little distro set up.
Yeah, I remember.
Because he threw like one of the lawn ornaments from the backyard through the window. Not breaking the window because it was open, but he like broke the screen
Yeah,
and threw it into the living room. I believe during Love Below.
and did somebody get pulled through the window?
I think so.
Like
and
somebody pulled them from the outside and pulled them out.
yeah,
From the
but
inside.
and I remember Justin's dad and I think his uncle was there too. They went and they had him like against the wall, like by his shirt.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck him up.
And they were gonna fuck him up, and Justin was like, "No, Dad, like no, like nothing's broken. It's okay, like don't worry about it."
Yeah, and dude was kind of lit too. You know what I mean? So
That shit was nuts, dude.
like that lit cholo came out of him, dude.
Yeah, dude.
There was a full moon that night for sure.
I remember my
Yeah.
ex at the time. It was gonna be like her first show,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Is it gonna get crazy?" I'm like, "Nah, it's not gonna get that bad." Wrong, dude. She
Yeah,
was
that's why I
pissed at
told my
me.
girl, like, dude, you need to wait outside.
Yeah, it was the
like,
exact
you're,
same
you're way
thing.
too pretty to be in here.
Like I remember after our set, like I was like looking, I'm like, "Where the fuck did she go?" And she was like outside, like pissed at me, like, "What the fuck, dude?" I'm like, "My bad."
Well, I wanted to bring up the show again because I want to let Eddie defend himself because we
forgot about
talked
that.
about why there's no footage of this
Oh,
show.
yeah.
And I was like, it's because Eddie broke the fucking camera.
Yeah, he did.
So go ahead, your perspective from that.
Well, in the middle of the set,
He's like, yeah, I
right?
did it.
Yeah, I'm not sorry. No, so during our set, like I think I mentioned prior to this, like I
Yeah, I
zone out,
remember.
like I'm in my zone, and this guy, like I've seen him before, but I wasn't sure who he was, but he kept putting a camera in my face, and like I kept like nodding, like get out of here, and I don't know, maybe he thought I was like headbanging or something, but whatever. But he just kept like getting in there, and like I remember like having to like play around him,
Yeah.
and it was throwing me off, and I think like I think I swung at him for like and in hopes of him like backing off and all that, but he didn't. So and I think he was trying to get like a cool like close up footage or something.
Yeah, I remember seeing him get like.
He was getting really
'cause
close.
He was doing it to me too,
Dude.
and yeah, like getting close. But I mean, it wasn't anything like I wouldn't want him up in my face behind a drum set, dude.
Yeah, it just it's weird because like I said, I was playing around him. Like if he was at a a
Yeah,
certain
because
distance.
he was like leaning over a cymbal at one point.
Yeah,
like,
he
I'm just
was-
like, bro, like you're doing the most.
So eventually, like, after like
He was like so tall, lanky dude, huh?
Yeah, he'd only been brought around that time
Yeah, 'cause I
that
remember
he'd come out.
he was even being annoying to the drummer of Planet Vegeta. Because I remember during that set, like, he was just like, what? I was like, what are you doing? Like, get away from here, dude. Like,
Yeah, I think they were just like, because they're Sergio's homies,
Yeah.
and then, like they were there for like a week or so, and they were, they're all crashing at my house,
Yeah.
and like those,
if
they were just like the film nerds with him, and like I think they were just turned
Yeah.
up and like in the moment and stuff, but like
Yeah.
dude, definitely
It-
doing the most.
yeah, if I knew now, like if I knew then like that it was like Sergio's homies, I wouldn't have done it.
Because I didn't know who those guys were, so
Yeah.
I didn't know. None of you guys knew either. They were strangers to all of us.
Yeah, so after like a couple warnings, I'm like, all right, fuck this guy. So like I started like purposely like trying to hit him like
Yeah.
hard, and I just remember like bits and pieces. Like I hit him a couple times,
Yeah.
and then I just remember like parts of the camera just flying everywhere after
Yeah.
like whacking it, and then he finally backed off, and I'm like, all right, and then the set continued, and I had like forgotten all about it, and it was like after the show, like I'm packing up my shit in my car, like getting ready to go, because I remember like I was like, I'm fucking hungry, I want Bakers, and I'm like I remember like thinking I'm gonna eat Bakers, so I'm like trying to rush,
Yeah.
and like I'm pulling away, and I see Sergio like looking kind of frustrated, like trying to mess with something. And I'm like, hey dude, I'll see you later. He's like, all right man, late. And I'm like, you okay? He's like, somebody like fucked up my camera or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
he was pissed. I
Yeah.
remember it was the you had hit the boom, and you had popped the boom off the because it sat on top of it. It was one of those old school like camcorders.
Yeah.
Kind of big.
So the mic on top, right?
Yeah. So like it was like that whole part had been completely severed from the.
So that's what I saw fly, because I did see something like fly off after I whacked
Yeah,
it.
and he was pissed about it because I remember he was like taking his frustration out like later in the show during the other bands.
Yeah.
He was moshing pretty hard, and I remember people were getting mad, and like I thought he was gonna get like in fights, dude.
Yeah.
He was pissed.
Yeah, well, yeah, I remember, like, I was like, I asked him, like, oh, what's wrong, dude? He's like, oh, somebody fucked up my camera. And, like, in my head, like, I didn't remember, like, doing that.
You're like, you didn't know it was his camera.
Yeah, I didn't know.
You thought
Like-
it was like that was unrelated to this fool who was all up in your face.
Yeah, so, and I remember, like, driving away, I'm, like, thinking, oh, man, that sucks. Like, like, that's shitty. I wonder who did that. It, like, later on, I was like, oh, fuck.
Twas me.
Yeah.
Twas me.
But, yeah, it wasn't my fault. It was that dude getting in my face. But,
I remember Sergio going like on an angry rant as soon as that hit him where it hurts that was like over. He like grabbed the mic and just started cussing at everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that
he's
too.
Fuck you!
It's like, damn,
You
dude.
broke my fucking camera.
Yeah.
Fuck all you.
I'm like,
motherfuckers.
yeah, in the background.
I'm gonna find you.
And we figure out who you are.
That's funny, dude.
I think like to this day, that's probably like the craziest house show I've ever been to.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I've been to some crazy ones in the past, but I think that one's like the most memorable for me.
Yeah.
By far, yeah.
Especially because it was all homies.
Yeah, and there was
Like,
a lot of people there.
There was a lot of people there.
Like, it was packed, and like, it didn't get as smashed up as that one house show that we played in Corona.
The one that we left because of how fucked up it got?
Yeah, like, I don't think it was intended to be, and we were mixed up in there was like a lot of punks there and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Like
we were kind of the outsiders.
we a little bit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Yeah, and I don't know, and that's at a point in time when, when Evan was a little mischievous.
I think
rascal.
that's when me and Evan were, I think we were like playing ping pong with people during your guys' set.
Yeah.
Because it was in a really small room.
And then that one dude, like, you guys got some dude that was like super fucked up, and didn't he like smash his head into the wall or something?
Yeah, well, like I said, we're like playing ping pong
Yeah.
with people, so we're like shoving the shit out of people to each other from across the room.
Yeah.
And there was this guy who was super fucked up. I shoved him towards Evan, and he shoved him back, and I moved. And I was against the wall, and he just went into the wall, made this big ass hole in the drywall.
Oh, dude, I remember that was not the only one though. Like, there was several that occurred after, because it got crazy in there
Yeah.
too. It's like during our set, I remember we had the homie filling in for Sergio on
Yeah.
the bass, and I remember looking at over at him at one point. This dude was in the circle pit.
Oh, yeah.
super silly drunk dude, and then kept smashing into this dude, and he kept trying to like with his bass thrust him off. Like,
Yeah.
you could tell like if you were saying it, it'd be like, get the fuck away from me,
Yeah.
And then he had come around like one last time, and he got fucking clocked, dude.
And I saw, I was like, fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Because it was seamless. He was just playing and then boom, and then kept playing.
I was like, see, I knew you were the right guy. Fit right in, dude.
And then because it was you guys, and then right after, I think Dorian's band played, the one he
Yeah.
was in at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was you guys were the first two bands, and then we just left. Like the house was all fucked up already, and we just left. And
Yeah,
there's still
dude.
more bands to play.
Yeah, like we left before it was over, and like I remember there was like somebody's like older sister that was living there had a bunch of her like bro friends over, and then there was like couples fighting on the way out. I was like, oh, this place is weird. Let's get out of here.
That shit was tight,
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy one too.
man.
Good times, man.
House shows. So now to segue into the house show we recently went to.
Oh yeah.
So what was your guys' experience with that?
It was weird.
It was weird.
Yeah, I felt like I went through like a time machine going through that entrance to that show. It was weird.
How was the walk over there for you?
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like for me, like Eddie had mentioned, like when we went to go see Iron Lung, how the walk back to the car felt kind of nostalgic. That's how it felt for me walking over there.
Yeah.
I was like, man, like this took me back, like to when we used to always go to like house shows,
Dude.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start rating our walks now.
Yeah.
B minus, A plus.
What was that walk?
That was an A, dude.
That was an A?
That was sick.
That was,
Yeah.
yeah. Because it was a good distance, you know, like not too far, but like a good walking distance.
Yeah. I mean, it was a brisk walk. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, like it felt like back in the day, you know.
I felt
just-
like walking home from school. Like
Yeah.
we used to walk together at some point before we went our own separate ways.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean. Like it had like a nostalgic feel to it.
Yeah.
Like it had similar energy to like something that we remember.
yeah, because we're just walking, bullshitting, talking shit, you know, making jokes.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. But then I remember feeling very awkward once we got to the show. I felt very out of place.
Oh, I felt very out of place too.
Like extremely out of place. Like almost to the point where like I think I just want to go home.
Like when I was going to house shows, right? And I'd be like, who the fuck are those old dudes? You know? Like
we
those
were
were us.
Yeah.
that was us, dude.
That's how I felt. But then I figured in my head, I was like, I don't know, I should try and have fun.
Yeah.
That's why, like, every time a band would play, I'd be like, I should make, like, some dance moves to this shit. So I'd be like...
Oh, dude, yeah. Dude, those dance moves were sick, dude.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
Like, everybody here is, like, under 18. Like,
Yeah, there was a lot of kids.
Yeah.
I felt weird.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I should still talk shit on little kids. Because like I feel like if I talk shit back then and like now I'm like, no, I'm older, then that would make me a poser back then. So I'm still talking shit, dude. They look like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, with their fucking face painted.
I wonder, like,
Fucking dweebs.
like, I wonder how those kids would react to like us as kids, like when we were in those backyard shows.
Like, I wonder if that looks old school to them.
Yeah,
You know,
because we like I don't know what we started going to house shows back in like 2006, 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah, around there.
You know.
Like if someone pulled up right now dressed like how you were, they'd be like, dude, you're dressed like how my dad was in high school.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I definitely wonder like how those kids would react to us as kids, but.
I see what
like,
you mean, because I feel like by and large, like the way that everybody looked, I would have not associated their interest in the music that was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Not like, yeah, I know what you mean.
But
like no one was wearing a lot of like grindcore, like anything like it was.
yeah, I saw like a couple Slipknot
Yeah.
shirts.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm telling you, there's a bunch of tree kids, dude.
Yeah, like
Bunch of fucking tree
it was
kids.
weird because like it was just like a mixture of so much shit going on in the crowd.
I liked.
I mean, I give them like an A+ for style, because like
Ew.
back then, like
Did you say ew?
Yeah, dude.
like back then, like when you would go to like house shows, like when we were kids, everybody was like the same looking, like
I see
all,
what you
all
mean.
black patches.
Yeah,
you know?
I see
But
what you
in this
mean.
house show, there was like a group of tree kids with like makeup on their faces, a group of like new metal kids, and like a group of like weirdos that were wearing flip flops, and like I saw a guy with like pink Crocs. Like it was just like a mixture of styles. So I was like, oh well, you get an A+ for style.
I loved
Yeah.
how like 90% of the people there had like NOS balloons.
Yeah, dude.
It
Oh
was
yeah, I
weird.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is.
It was
This
the
is
most
wild, dude.
privileged house show ever, dude, because they had everyone like catering and like
Yeah, they had a taquero.
Yeah, I liked how they had that.
Were you the one
microeconomy
that told me
going.
that? Because you were like, man, this house show makes our house shows back in the day look like fucking shit.
because
dude.
like
It's
our house shows, it's like if you wanted like a NOS balloon, like it was like in someone's backpack, like kind of
Yeah.
hidden, like in the corner
Yeah.
somewhere. And right here, they just
They
had,
had a
fucking
NOS bar?
Yeah, they were like, hey, they were like going around asking people if they want to buy one. And they had a fucking vendor that was selling weed. A vendor that was selling
yeah,
fucking
there was
alcohol.
a fucking weed vendor. Oh man, it was so
I don't
weird.
know, man. It seemed very DIY to me, and I thought
It
that-
was, but it was,
very
like-
consistent with like that punk ethos, dude. And
Yeah.
that's what I liked about it. Like it kind of reminded me of like how I remember the, setting up for that house show at Justin's house. It was very similar,
Yeah.
I mean, minus the craziness,
Mm-hmm.
But I think it definitely was a different like looking crowd
Yeah.
than what I was anticipating to see. I was anticipating to see like, like
Punks.
skater hardcore kids and such. You know what I mean? And like some punk rock kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have never associated with that. Like you said, there was a couple Slipknot shirts. Like that's what
Yeah, I'm
they
pretty
say
sure I
they
saw like
mess
a
with.
pair of Jenko jeans around there.
Like it looked like a lot of kids
Motherfuckers
that
playing with yo-yos.
it looked like a lot of kids that shopped at Hot Topic when we were that age.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
when Hot Topic had cool shit.
Yeah.
It's so weird because it was like back then, if you would have dressed like that when we were kids, like a lot of people would be like, "Fucking lame."
Yeah.
That's why I
Dang.
mean, and like I had to call a name.
And
or
then
else
like
I
yeah,
would be a
and then
poser.
like I guess nowadays that's cool. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm not a kid, so
I'm not
it's
trying
like,
to swag check nobody, but it was cool. It was diverse.
I wanted to go up to them and be like, "Hey, do you think that guy over there is dressed so cool? Like, do you think so?" Just to see like if there's that guy walking around looking cool, or are people looking at him being like, "Fucking dork," you know?
Nah, it was fun though. It was
the face
fun.
painting threw me off though for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was weird.
Is that like a new thing?
I
Is
guess
that-
I've never seen that. Like people painting their
Yeah.
faces at a
I
punk
mean,
show.
I would see that at like black metal shows.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it was a birthday party.
What? Oh, it was a birthday party. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Damn,
Maybe-
nobody has Spider-Man painted on them though.
Yeah. But
Fucking,
Maybe
a
that's what-
lion on the face, a giraffe.
maybe that's what whoever's birthday was. Maybe that's what they wanted. Like, oh, if you can want anything you want for your birthday party, I want face painting,
He's all corpse paint.
dude.
Dude, there was a lot of fights too.
Yeah, there
A
was.
bunch of little fights broke out throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. I remember seeing a sign on the RV that was back there that said like tattoos, like if you want a tattoo.
Yeah.
or
Oh
something.
yeah.
I was
Was
like,
that like
what the
real
fuck? I
tattoo?
don't know.
Or was it like those? Nah.
I don't know. But I was like, what the fuck, dude?
I wasn't looking out to find out, you know.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, not down.
Yeah, it did feel weird. Like even like to like I remember Fidel made a joke like I'm just gonna stand like this, crossing his arms the whole time, or you had him raise or something.
Yeah, like to keep my hands to my chest, basically.
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, it's like yeah, like I feel like if I was like in that pit, like I would just be shoving little kids around.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it felt weird.
No, I know what you mean because I always feel like majority of that the people that were there, I feel like I could have like picked them up like pincers from
Yeah,
the back of
yeah,
their
yeah.
shirt like a mother
Yeah.
cat, you know, and just time to take a nap, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like.
Me and
I
Fidel
see
got
that.
recognized.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, some guy was like, "Hey, you live around here?" I'm like, yeah, why?" And he's like, "Where have I seen you? Like, oh, you at that Iron Lung show?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, that guy too." Point at Fidel.
I was like,
So
That's what's up. That's what's up.
we got Betamax fans, dude.
got Betamax fans, dude.
That's dope, dude.
It's weird.
How does it feel being famous, dude?
I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. I did. I don't know if I've told you. I know I've told somebody that I got noticed just because you know how I used to post records all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody like recognized me at a show at Program in Fullerton.
Oh, okay.
I think I was there, wasn't
I don't know.
I? When someone, because I remember someone did recognize you. Like,
They're like, "Oh, dude, like you post badass records."
Yeah.
Like,
Did
nah,
they
fuck
call,
all that.
Oh, dude, I was about to ask
Yeah.
you. Did they call you Fidel or
No,
oh,
they-
you're not. Fuck all
Yeah,
that.
they're like, "Nah, fuck all that," and I was like, "Oh, it's cool." It was like some young kid. I was like, "Oh, dude, that's weird."
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
do you guys want my autograph or?
nah.
No.
I'm gonna start charging you guys like, $500 for every appearance.
So how did the dynamic change from like house shows with Hit 'Em Where It Hurts and like all that DIY stuff into ACxDC?
Like dynamic for like me personally, or
Yeah, like just because I feel like the whole environment kind of changed because you started playing venues and bigger places and stuff.
Well, yeah, that slowly happened in ACDC too. Like,
Yeah.
So I mean, the ACDC would still play house shows, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, personally, that's still near and dear to my heart, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, it's gonna sound corny, man, but if I'm being honest, like when I first picked up a guitar, you know, I was learning, like trying to figure out how to play Ramones songs, right? I was obsessed with it, and I would picture myself like on stage, like rocking out, dude. You know, like I had this whole like punk rock epic conclusion scenario in my head, right?
yeah,
I could say like, you know, I kind of felt like that, you know, I kind of felt like I achieved that in a way, you know, because I mean I was, you know, part of the group when they had someone helping us out with getting on like really cool shows, you know, and we're able to network very well with a lot of dope people, you know, and just it being able to kind of like experience like those venues, you know, like and hanging out in the green room, you know, like that's cool, man. Like especially when you're touring, like it's rough, you know, when you're a punk band, dude. Like
Yeah.
it's not like I've had people tell me in the past like they thought like we had like a tour bus.
oh yeah,
It's like nah, man. Like we're
We got a tour car.
yeah, dude. Like we got day jobs and shit, you know.
yeah,
You know, so but it was cool to kind of feel like that I have accomplished that to some capacity, you know. Like if at least it feels like that to me. Like I'm proud of it, you know. So like when one day like I'm gonna show my kids like the cool stuff like where people are just stage diving like like coming up to the mic like piling on top of each other in front of the stage, you know, like at an Armageddon Fest and such like that.
yeah.
You know, like it's fun, man. I loved it. I loved that stuff. It's a rush. You know?
I remember me and you had went to a house show in Fontana, and you had already been with ACxDC for a while now. And I think I forgot what band we went to. Oh, it was Planet Vegeta. We went, like Justin had invited us, and there was like a bunch of other random bands playing. And this one band, it was a power violence band from the Bay Area called Stress Relief. I remember they were playing too, and me and you had just seen them play and thought they were tight. And so we went to their merch table, and the singer was at the merch table. And then you guys were talking, and he was asking you, like, oh, like, you play too? And you told him, like, yeah. And when you had mentioned that you play for ACxDC, I remember his eyes, like, lighting up. And he was like, oh, what? Like, what are you doing here? Like, you still go to house shows? So you talking about how, like, people thought, like, there's certain people that thought you had, like, a tour bus? Like, I kind of experienced, I witnessed that with you. like on certain occasions. Like, damn, people really have like this grandiose like vision of what they think the type of life you're living.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, like I'm not like a famous person, dude. Like I'm not like a celebrity or anything. Like it's punk rock, dude. You know, so it's nothing like that. But like, you know, when people are like just like a fan, you know, they have like these ideas that they concoct on their own. You know, like we all do it. You know, I do the same thing. Like, you know, until like you realize something that's contrary to what you had thought of. You know, then you're just like, oh man, I didn't know that. You know, or so I say like don't meet your heroes and shit. You know, because you get disappointed.
For
you know?
real.
But yeah, dude. So it's kind of like when you know that, it's kind of hard for me at least. It's kind of hard to like have a conversation with somebody after like you see them react like that, and you're just like, fuck. Now I feel like I have to like perform some way, you know. Like I can't just be myself, you know. Because then it's kind of like I think I've described it to you before, like showing somebody how a magic trick is done after you just blew their mind with that magic trick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that like if we're talking about like, you know, celebrity status, like actual celebrities, dude, they got people jumping into their properties trying to snap pictures of them, like walking around their house and shit. Like that's next level.
Yeah.
You know, like that's scary shit. But yeah, dude.
I want to ask you something. How old were you when you like first picked up like a guitar?
I think I was 14.
Do you remember what sparked that? Like, do you remember what like you were like, oh man, like I should go get a guitar and play it? Like,
I mean, I just was always into like music, you know. I always had music on. I was always wearing headphones, so like I was always listening to music, and it wasn't until like I got into like hearing more like punk music, you know, like Sum 41 and like the Misfits, the Ramones, like those in general, and Blink-182, like those really like caught my attention, because otherwise I was listening to hip hop, dude, and like oldies and shit. So that kind of got me interested in like wanting to play instruments like that, you know, because otherwise that didn't really cross my mind. And like at one point I was living near this dude, and he had this guitar that he just never used, and yeah, like an acoustic guitar, and he said that he would sell it to me for like $25, you know.
yeah.
So I went and asked my dad, and I was like, dude, like I've been wanting to play guitar, you know. So he bought it for me.
Yeah.
And I just had that one acoustic guitar for a minute. I was like maybe just turned 14 years old.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, and I just like, I didn't know anything about guitar tabs or anything like that. So like, it was literally just like button mashing, but for guitar strings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like way before the YouTube days, so you definitely had to like learn. On your
Yeah.
own.
Like, it's funny. So my parents had got me an electric guitar for my birthday.
I was gonna ask you that too. Like, how do your parents feel about the fact that you've grabbed like a very noisy instrument? Like, were they like, oh, man, can you just keep it acoustic? Like, don't get an amp.
Yeah, my dad's is a type where he's like, can't you express yourself in other ways? You know? My mom is very like supportive of stuff. I mean, my dad is too. You know what I mean? Like, so like to the point like where, you know, when I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do, go to school, you know, he was the one sliding me ideas of doing audio, like to record music and stuff like that. So, you know, they were cool about it, you know, like as long as I wasn't, they trusted me, you know, like that was something that my parents and kind of just had with me. So like they trusted my judgment. I didn't do anything to make them think that it was like obnoxious or bad, you know, like I was respectful of the time that I spent doing it, you know. Plus, like, they just know that I just don't have to be told what to do, you know? So I'm pretty sure that they just didn't want to approach me with, like, hey, can you, like, not do those things? And I'd be like, you can just, like, not listen, you know?
Were your parents, like, intimidated by you, like, growing up as a teenager?
Probably. I think
because, like, talking to your parents and then dating one, it's, like, you have to find, like, the right approach when it comes to, like, a teenager, like, getting filled with angst, and then having a noisy instrument put that in the mix. It's like even like, you know, it's like, how do you handle that?
I don't think I don't know. I'd have to ask my mom. But if I were to, you know, if I know her as well as I think I do, she'd probably be more. she'd probably be more intimidated by the way that I sounded with my voice when I was yelling these, like playing this music. You know what I mean? Like that probably was, should be find more intimidating than the actual like loudness of the amps.
Yeah.
That's just like obnoxious to her, or to them, I imagine. But I don't know, they were always really cool about it. I mean, they never really gave me shit. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, remember, it brought me and my brother together. I mean, like, what parent doesn't want that,
Your brother too. Like, do you know? I would love to have him on the podcast too. By the way, because I would love to pick his brain on like music and just how he is along with you. So thanks for being here.
No, he's good.
So, but like, how did he do you know how he got his first drum set? Like,
oh, from me, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was the one who taught him how to play drums.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
like friends would like leave their drum set over, and then, I would mess around on them. So I like taught myself how to play drums, and then like when I would like, I had the urge to just like, dude, I got it. Like, we got to jam,
Yeah.
So then my brother was just naturally like, wanted to play the drums, so I would just kind of coach him how I would do it, and then dude just figured out how to be able to do it like on a collaborative level, and yeah, he always kind of like tagged along with things that I was doing, so he was always kind of like into the same things, which is cool because he was always around into the same shit. I mean, I can't complain about that.
Yeah. And I think that's like the best way to really kind of get that music creative juice going with someone who you're related to and you grew up with and you're so close to. It's like, who better to flow with,
Yeah, it's kind of like if we were to put two Gasols on the same basketball team or something like that. Like, I kind of like that feeling that we have when we're doing that,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool, Like, I taught him how to play, and he just kind of perfected his own flavor, and I love jamming with that fool because of it, Like, he's ruthless with that drum set, man. He shows no mercy.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the more unique drummers that I've ever seen. So.
Yeah, dude. It's cool. I try to jam with him every chance I can get. Yeah, he's busy too, though.
Yeah.
So, I want to ask you, because of the leniency that your parents gave you growing up, do you feel like that's something you want to apply to like your kids?
Oh, good question. Yes and no.
Because from my understanding, I don't think I've ever really had a conversation with you about like this subject.
No.
But from my understanding, it's like your parents were kind of just like, just don't come home in cuffs.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
Well, so it was like if you end up in jail, right? My mom's thing would be like, okay, was it really something that he did? Because if so, because she wants to know whose ass she has to chew,
Yeah.
So like if it's the cops for just being assholes,
Yeah.
But if it was something that I had done to myself, she'd be like, keep his ass there. You want to fuck around? Now he's gonna find out,
Yeah.
So they just trusted my judgment, I never really gave them a reason to not to. So they did kind of give me a lot of like freedom, like it was cool. I appreciate that balance and that mutual respect. Like it was just acknowledging like just our dignity in space,
Yeah.
our individuality, and that was cool. So I could appreciate like them giving me that type of leniency, and I do definitely want to apply that like in my family, like or at least kind of model something like that to my kids.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like it's I want to foster like their creativity, their interests, because had I had more like parental or not parental but more like adult figures like in school and stuff,
Yeah.
or like guidance counselors and stuff, to maybe kind of like meet me where I'm at with my interests and like guide me to like thinking college or something, but with music and art and stuff, like with writing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I probably could have really thrived in a more like artistic field, which is cool. I mean, everything happens for a reason, I guess. But I definitely now see this as opportunity to help do that for my kids, and advocate for them, and make sure that like if they're into like drawing, it's like let's go all the way with it.
You fan that flame. Like,
Yeah.
like if you saw that spark, you'd like
100% until they're just like, you know what, like I don't want to do it anymore. It's like, all right, cool, let's not do it. I'm not gonna shame somebody for not wanting to not be into something, anymore.
Fucking quitter.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
who wants to be treated like that, dude?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to show my kids dignity, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you know, like, they're people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I want them to be able to treat other people like just live and let live. You know, this is what I expect of you. You know, it's kind of how my parents were. This is what I expect of you. You know what we expect. You know, we've raised you, and now go live life and try not to fuck it up. You know.
Do you get intimidated by that prospect, especially because it's like coming pretty soon? Where to the point where your kids are gonna get to that age where you're just like, I'm kind of scared of the choices you're gonna make, but there's nothing I can do to kind of stop you because you're just your own person.
Oh, I think about stuff like that all the time. I mean, it goes through my mind like on loop every day, man. I worry about the future so much, like when it comes to my kids. You know, anytime I say something to them, I'm hyper analyzing like how that may have made them feel, you know, and I question like how core of a memory is that for this person, you know, like how big of a mistake was that, you know, and I'm very self-conscious about those things. So like I do stress out about like decisions that they can make based off of the influences that I have and the behaviors in which I model, you know,
Right.
And but I don't know, man, like I feel like if you're not feeling like you're growing up with your kids, you're not doing it right. And I feel like I'm learning so much from my children as you could say that they are for me, you know? Because, I mean, I wouldn't know how to be, you know, so aware of, like, me as an adult now had it not been for, like, being able to just watch my children interact with the world around them, you know? And it's kind of like, damn, like, you know, this is a huge responsibility and, like, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think about those certain, like, questions too, because like I said, like I'm dating someone with like kids, so it's kind of like I see them from a distance, and it's just kind of like, ugh, you know.
Yeah, honestly, I can only imagine what that's like, dude. You know, because I mean, for me, like, I was present for the birth of my kids, you know, and like I raised them from, like, you know, the second that they were, you know, here to now, you know.
Right.
In your instance, like you're getting to know these people who have lived a whole ass life.
Yeah.
Before you, you know.
Which in some ways I feel like it's like.
And you have no basis of comparison. You have no prior experience being a parent or anything. So like, how do you approach that?
Yeah.
How do you foster a relationship where, like, because now you're a male presence in their life, you know.
Exactly.
You have to think about those things.
Yeah.
You know, like, how am I being inappropriate right now? I've never had to think about that
exactly.
before. You know,
yeah.
I can imagine being in situations where your girlfriend can ask you like, hey, you know, is it cool if so and so stays here with you? And you're just like, I can appreciate you putting that kind of trust in me, but like, I don't know if I don't know where they're at, you know, like, and how this could be perceived, you know, like this is something I would worry about if this was my children, you know.
Exactly.
So like, I can see how much anxiety that can bring you in that sense, you know.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it brings a shitload to me every day.
Yeah, especially with the kind of people that me and you are, who I would say are very much overthinkers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're very much anxiety filled, and like, I mean, we've gone through therapy and we've been medicated, and we're still trying to figure things out as we go, trying to figure things out on our own, and making sure that we're okay, and we're treating the people around us okay, thanks to our mental issues, you know. And that's like another thing, like I wanted to ask you. It's like, do you ever this isn't appropriate, like shoot down the question, it's okay.
Yeah, but this is a safe space, dude. Like,
yeah,
for me at least.
Like I said, I don't know if you listen to like the Jimmy episode, but there's like some questions that are in here that I'm just like, man, if I ask them, I'm pretty sure this person's gonna fucking punch me in the jaw one day, you know. But anyways, do you ever just feel kind of like, fuck, like I hope my kid doesn't get what I got because I passed that down to them, you know?
I mean, if an anxious parent could have an anxious kid off top. I mean, like, it's conditioning. You know what I mean? Like, think about like if you raise a dog, right? And if shouting out a dog or like abusing this dog somehow, and the dog like gets like shaky behaviors when in a similar setting with another person, you know, I mean, like they're gonna teach those bad behaviors to the puppies that they have, you know. So it's a similar concept, you know, like
Right.
it's kind of like it's perpetual, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's kind of like where I'm at with like trying to be more cognizant about me and my stuff, you know, so
Yeah.
that way I don't have an influence on like some of like the external things, you know, for my kids. I can't change neurodiversity, you know. That's a reality that at least one of my kids has, you know, and you know, and to me that's like a whole new like thing for me to I still like have to learn, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, you meet one person with autism, you've met one, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a one size fits all approach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know.
How old is Naraya, by the way?
How old?
Yeah.
She's 8.
She's 8.
Yeah.
How's her journey going?
How's her journey going?
Yeah.
I wish she could answer for herself, dude. You know, I would hate to be the one to put something out there for her, you know, when she could have a whole different, she could probably come out with something much more beautiful to say about her journey, or something way more hateful, I guess. I don't know. But she finds a lot of shit annoying. So, I mean, I can imagine it'd be like, this place sucks, dude. Like, you know, things are too loud or whatever, you know.
Is she like sassy?
Yeah. She can be.
Yeah.
You know, she's a cool kid, dude. You know, she's funny. She's hilarious. So, she just recently started doing this thing where, if she doesn't want to share, she expresses that it's a one-player activity. So, for instance, we're on our way somewhere. We saw an elotero. Skirt. Got some pinwheels because my son was like, yo, can you give me some of the pinwheels, right?
You said, yo, can you give me some things?
Dude talks like that.
Oh, hell yeah.
So as I'm turning around to go hand it to him, she snacks and she's like, one player. And starts smacking the chips, dude.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, that's pretty funny.
Yeah,
So she wants to do it by herself or like not with him around, you know?
yeah, she sounds like a leader.
Yeah, she's cool. I mean, her journey as far as like, from my perspective, like as the parent, you know, it's the educational milestones in which we are working on getting her to meet at certain intervals. She's doing a great job at knocking those out, you know. And she thrives very much at school. There, she's a pleasure to be around. Like she brings a lot of life to her classroom. They always compliment about how funny she is, you know, things like that. So, from my perspective, she seems to be, you know, like a normal kid, you know, that just, you know, just a little quieter, you know, chooses to express herself in different ways, you know, doesn't necessarily like. I mean, she's still a kid, you know. Like emotions are big, dude. You know, I'm sure we can all agree that like I still can say that I struggle with having to manage emotions myself. You know, like any other person. You know,
Right.
Like I can't expect her to have it more dialed in than me. You
Yeah.
know, those expectations are unrealistic. But I don't know. She's awesome. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear, man.
Yeah. She provides a lot of like I don't know. She's just unique, you know. So it's just cool. Like I love the shit that comes out of her mouth. Like you know, she's so funny with the way that she thinks, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, that one player thing. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be using that, dude. I was like, hey, do you want to go some lunch? I'm like, nah, man, I'm trying to do one player this one. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good to hear, man. Because yeah, I always get like every time I think of you, I always get curious about like your journey as a parent. You and Alexis, and like how your kids are, how their journey's going. You know, just because, like out of all like the friends we have, and you know, like them having kids and making their own life, your guys' situation is definitely the most unique to me.
Yeah, and we did it like before a lot of the like some of the homies are having kids right now.
Yeah.
You know, But then there's also those who had kids before me, you know?
Yeah. So I get pretty curious about that. So
No, thanks for asking.
Sorry
dude.
if that's annoying.
It's not annoying, man.
Okay.
I like deeper conversations.
All right.
I love like the times I've been around you guys, like you're the whole family, Alexis and the kids. I love seeing like the relationship that Joseph has with her,
With who?
with Naraya.
Yeah?
Like I just love their dynamic. Like you could tell he kind of looks out for her.
He
you know?
does. I'm just trying to work on his tone.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it's like, you don't have to be a parent, you know?
Oh.
I was like, you
Okay.
just sound like a narc, you know?
Oh.
And like, you know, so I just correct him.
Oh. Okay.
It's like, you don't have to do like that. You know, I tell him like, bro, like you're such a good boy. It doesn't look right when you sound like that, buddy.
Yeah.
You're such a good boy. I don't like how that sounds. It doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah.
Please try again. Or else.
Or else.
Bros what, Dad? Bros what?
Because I'll do something.
It's like no more switch.
Hey, he's intimidating, dude.
Who?
Joseph.
Dude, so the other day he was gonna go golfing with my father-in-law, and then I was gonna help him pick out like his clothes because he had gotten this new like golfing polo. I was like, all I need to do is pick out some shoes. So he comes down with these pair of Jordans, or they're Jordan lookalikes. They're from H&M, but they look like some Jordan ones. So he comes down. I was like, oh, you want to wear these? He's like, yeah, Dad. I want to wear some badass shoes. I was like, oh, those are some pretty badass shoes. And I was like, that's cool, man. I would wear those too. He's like, yeah, that way when I get there and the boys see me, they're going to think I look sick.
That's fucking tight, dude.
Yeah. So
Or last time we jammed out, me and that fool got like in the epic lightsaber battle.
oh, yeah, dude.
It was tight.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up this morning to do like a little bit of yard work, and I was like, I got to do yard work. He's like, me too, Daddy. I was like, oh, man, I love you, dude.
He's pretty shy, huh?
Huh?
He's pretty shy, huh?
He can be. Like, I think, like, you know, like any kid, like, sometimes they can be shy, but for the
Around
most
certain
part.
people.
But once
when
he warms up to you, like
Yeah, like, you know, he just wants to play, you know? So, like, if you have, like, that, like, an energy that kind of similar to his, like, he opens up to you more, you know?
Yeah.
But there's times when he does act like a little shy boy, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like, when it's like, oh, well, go take a nap.
Are your kids Star Wars fans?
Are they Star Wars fans? I mean, in the sense of, like, yeah, Star Wars and it's fun and it's cool and stuff, you know? But, like, not like nerds about it. I wish.
Serious question. What's your favorite Lord of the Rings movie from the trilogy?
From the trilogy? To Two Towers.
All right, that's same here
Yeah.
for sure.
Something about Legolas surfing down on a shield or, like, was a door? Like, rapid firing arrows.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just pretty tight.
Do you have one?
I don't because I've seen the movies. I have seen the movies and I've seen them multiple times, but I wouldn't say like I know them. Like I would imagine you guys know them.
Yeah.
So I can't really say.
So you do for rewatch?
Well, Anna and me are actually rewatching
Like
them
right now?
Nah, fuck.
I'm super down.
Well, okay. Before
It's gonna be into morning
before we
time.
move on into this topic, I do want to say like because you mentioned your parents, I want to like say a big thank you, and then I'm sorry to them for putting up with us, like all those parties at the house, us acting like knuckleheads all the time, like
Yeah.
and them allowing it to happen, like that's pretty fucking tight.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they put up with a lot,
They did.
you know. My mom talks about like you and people all the time, you know. Like I said like they trust me. They trust my judgment, I guess.
I think it paid off.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we had a good system going there. It's like, you know, we won't fuck with you, you know.
Yeah.
As long as like we keep all the recycles and then we get to cash them in, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Because there was a point like I'd be at your house like every night,
Yeah.
for sure every weekend.
Yeah.
For sure every
Oh,
weekend.
yeah, then we-
And I always had a case of beer with me.
Yeah. Those parties would get nuts.
Because I remember one time showing up to your front door and knocking, and your mom answering the door, and I didn't have beer with me. And she's like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you without a case of beer." And I was like, "Oh shit."
Dude, I remember I have this funny image of Jose. I was chilling with Bobby one day, and like in Bobby's room, and Jose comes in. You wearing nothing but shorts. You had no shirt on, nothing, just shorts.
Oh my God.
And you were like, "Hey, dude, I'm watching the what was it? I think The Protector."
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah.
And you're like,
I was obsessed with that stuff. For
I
a while.
remember.
"Yeah," and you're like, "You guys want to come watch it?" And Bobby's like, "Nah." I'm like, "Fuck you, dude, I'll go." And I showed up, and you're just on the couch, shirtless, in your shorts, eating bowl cereal. And I
Just
sat
like-
down next to
just
you.
like dialed in, dude.
Yeah, you're just super into it, and like I remember like we started counting like certain kicks that Tony Jaa was doing.
Yeah.
Like, there's like this kick that he does where he jumps up and he hits you with his knee,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
and you're like 1, 2, and like we watched the whole movie together, and we count. And I can't remember like the number of kicks he did, but I remember like thinking like this is fucking random.
When
like,
I get home from work, one of the first things my son usually says is like, "Hey, Daddy, you know what's a good idea? We should watch some Tony Jaa."
yeah, that's sick, dude.
I showed him that scene from The Protector where he fights like those 50 dudes,
When
and
he
he's
breaks
like
a bone
breaks
in
up.
it,
It's
yeah.
nothing but like breaking bones. That's his favorite video, dude. He thinks that is super dope.
That movie's tight, dude.
I think you're the one that introduced me to that movie.
Yeah,
The
there was a period
Protector.
of time when I got really into like some kung fu flicks, like that type of genre.
Yeah.
But it was mostly like Thai stuff. Like
Yeah.
I had bought like a Muay Thai book. Like I went crazy.
Yeah, because I remember you telling me about The Protector, Ung Bak, like all those movies.
Yeah. Those are good movies, dude.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Fucking tight.
Yeah, they're fucking tight, dude.
So, to go into like back to music stuff, like, are you working on anything right now? I know you do like beats and stuff now. Like, well, okay, pertaining to that, like, where do you draw inspiration from? Because you played me a couple of them, and I told you they kind of have like a Disney feel to them.
Yeah.
So like, where do you usually draw like your inspiration from to make those beats?
So, for me, it's always just kind of like I'll be like in my head, you know, per usual. And I'll get like I'm very nostalgic, you know. I'm just very nostalgic, dude. I'm a nostalgic person, like, and like certain I can recall a lot of like sensory input for my memories, like things that like, especially if they were like a point in time like of my life, you know. So when I make like a beat or whatever, like I'll start with like tones and stuff like that. Then I can kind of picture like the street that I was living on, and I can remember like, you know, things that I was doing, what I was into at the time, and like what was like my soundtrack like, and then like the atmospheric sound. So that's why I do like a lot of like rain in the background, or like chatter, or you know, things like that. Just kind of add some of that like that depth. It's kind of like what my head sounds like, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
I love those videos on YouTube where they're playing like songs like that, but it's like a certain song playing, but it's like you're in the next room during a party.
Yeah,
And
like lo-fi kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's
It's so relaxing.
I don't do that all the time, but that's kind of like the stuff that I've been messing around with like more.
Mm-hmm.
So like the new things that I'm working on is like that. So like the couple of songs that I showed Fidel, they were like some older Disney jams. Like one of them from like this old like sing along cassette that.
What's your favorite Disney soundtrack?
My favorite Disney soundtrack?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, what's one that pops up to you like automatically?
Like just like for the
Just in general,
for
like-
for the for a movie. Or just a
Movie wise, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Old, new, whatever.
Old or new?
Yeah.
Does that include like Marvel and shit like that?
Not-
too?
not
Like,
Marvel. I'm talking,
okay.
like,
so just
classic
straight up
Disney, I
Disney, like
guess,
Disney
yeah.
animation.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, those Phil Collins joints, like
Tarzan, homie.
They go
Yeah.
off, dude. I mean,
I remember thinking.
Brother Bear, dude, he gets down on that one too.
Yeah,
Like,
I
that's
remember-
very underrated.
I remember thinking, when I was first starting to get to know you, like thinking, and there's like this guy making like all this brutal music, and like I remember like you sitting down, you were like talking to me about Disneyland and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, like no, I thought it was cool, but I was just like, it was so random. I'm like, this guy's like so fascinated by Disney, like it's fucking tight. You were like telling me all these facts and things, and
I just
I'm like, that's dope.
Yeah, I get carried away with things that pique my interest.
Yeah, I remember like thinking like, this guy's like to Disney. He's like into all these like movies, like all these kung fu movies, like. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna bring Serbian film over. He might be into that. And
this is Disney as fuck, dude.
He might be into this. Nah.
No, that's a fat soundtrack. That's a fat soundtrack, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that movie's fucked up.
I remember like you started watching it. I think you gave up like halfway. Like, fuck this. And then Bobby came in and he sat and watched it. And I love Bobby's reactions because he's always like, dude. And he would just like stare at you like, dude. And he was just doing that throughout the whole movie, so it was just like a great experience like watching it with him. Like,
yeah, dude.
He's like, dude, that's a really fucked up movie.
And I have a really strong stomach, dude. Like, it's just that's a rough one to get through, man. There's shit in here like, oh man, yikes.
Yeah, I remember I was like talking to you about movies, and I was telling you like my love for like movies that show like these horrible images, but they have like a beautiful song playing.
Yeah.
And I remember I showed you a clip from this movie called Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh, dude.
And it was a scene where he's like killing all these kids with a flamethrower in the school bus, and that Disco Inferno song's playing. And like you just looked at me like, dude, this is so poetic. Like that always stuck with me, dude. So like every time I see a scene like that, I just told everyone like, this is so poetic. Dude.
I love when it like things are like, you know, when the music sounds like cute, but like something
it's like contradicting what
like,
you're watching.
Yeah, something abhorrent is taking place, you know.
Yeah.
Like I love that. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Are Disney movies musicals?
I would say so.
Did we ever answer that question? We never did.
We never did. Anna text me and she's all like, they are musicals.
Are they?
So, yeah,
I think they're only musicals, like, well, because, I mean, Pixar doesn't do that, you know?
Yeah.
So when it's like a Pixar release, at least typically,
yeah,
they don't have music numbers that the characters sing.
Like, is Aladdin a musical?
Yeah, I would say so.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, like, they build whole ass storylines around, like music.
See, I told you guys.
I mean, at least I would think so. I mean, what would make it not a musical, you know?
I don't know, because I was talking to Fidel about that in the living room, remember?
Yeah.
And I brought that up to him, and I was just like, honestly, I don't even know what makes a musical, because, because that movie that, Hamilton?
Yeah, Hamilton.
And then the other movie, Les
Mis.
Well, it's
Les
not-
Miserables.
Well, that's not
Those are like stage
yeah,
plays.
see, that's a difference.
Okay.
That's a difference.
Because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
is that a musical? Because, even the dialogue is, harmonized.
So I was texting Fidel after one of your guys' recent episodes.
Yeah.
Your guys' shipoopy conversation.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
I looked that up. You're an idiot, dude.
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
It is on. It is on.
So you watched, the clip?
Yeah, I was like,
it's annoying, huh?
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
It is on Family Guy, but it originated from a musical that Jose
I was
told me
reading the
about.
comments, and I guess that scene from Family Guy was a big deal because somebody famous directed that scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a big
shit.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about.
I
don't know
forget,
about
man.
that.
Some people direct these cartoons, dude. It's weird.
Oh yeah, dude. I would like to look into that because that sounds pretty cool.
But yeah, look up the scene and you just read the
Well,
comments
I
and people
remember
go
the scene
crazy.
because every time they would do stuff like that in Family Guy, dude,
It was what the fuck
Because
moment.
I'm very familiar with musicals, you know. Cause I had a family member as growing up who introduced me to that stuff. So for instance, The Music Man, from where that song is from, it is a movie, but it was only made into a movie after having been a stage production.
play.
Like the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Okay.
Like they're meant to be
That's a musical, right?
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess if we're thinking since these are feature length films with music numbers, you know, maybe they're not musicals. I guess you could argue in that sense, because they're not on stage. These stories are not adapted from a stage production, you know.
Yeah, because Anna was telling me all the Disney movies, they are music, because she loves musicals also. So like,
Oh, really?
she wants me to watch like a bunch of them because I haven't seen
Oh, really? That's cool.
like any of them basically.
Has there any that stood out to you that she has mentioned?
Honestly, I don't.
Because I can
remember.
recommend
I
some.
don't remember. She probably knows them.
Yeah, dope. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, she likes musicals.
They're fun.
She likes a lot of like those old movies, like with the.
Yeah, she does, cause like she like mentioned one to me, and I was like, this fucking movie is
Like Gene
almost
Kelly.
100 years old.
Yeah, like
cause
Fred Astaire.
it was like
yeah, stuff
Halloween
like
time,
that. Yeah.
and she was like, "Are you trying to watch?" I think I was in the movie, and she was like, "You're trying to watch something spooky," and I was like, "Yeah," and then she said, "Look up Freaks" or something like that. It's like an old movie, but I guess it's like
yeah. It's like a circus or something
yeah,
like
it's
that.
like one of the first movies to use like people like that. Where
Yeah.
they were like missing limbs.
What
or
do you
had
mean people like
deformities.
that?
I meant I'm not racist.
Yeah, it's the whole one of us.
Yeah. But I was surprised that she mentioned that because I would have never thought that she would like movies like that.
No, yeah, she likes a lot of movies like that.
That's dope.
Yeah,
She's cooler
I
than
do
you,
too.
Fidel.
she is.
Yeah, she likes BTS.
You sure? Would she ever want to be on this or no?
Probably not. I've asked her, but if she's listening,
If it's like about musicals, why not? Or something like that.
I don't know. I'll ask her again.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell her we want her on.
I would listen to that one. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude.
You hear that, babe?
Yes.
Ew.
That's what's up. So besides like your beats, are you planning on doing bands again or?
Yeah, like currently I haven't gotten together with them in a while. We've all have like stuff going on, but I'm playing guitar with the dudes from Arm. So
Okay.
like Arm's doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm now playing guitar for them, like kind of backfilling what would be Sergio's like
Yeah.
role. You know, until and seeing where that goes. Outside of that, Hit 'Em or Hurts, like my brother. You know, H-Dub. You know, me, him, and we just had Val join us for a band practice on the other day, like Wednesday or so.
How was that?
I mean, like any other, like, first time getting together like that, It's a lot of cobwebs.
Getting all the sillies out.
Yeah, you have to.
Get all the sillies out.
Yeah, I mean, like it sucked, dude. I like pulled out my guitar and like I don't know why, but it had like my strings were all rusted. And normally they're because I take really good care of my things. And I was like, how the hell does that happen?
Yeah.
I was like I didn't check it before, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
So it's like literally having to shake off the rust.
That's tight.
Yeah. So, but it was cool though. Like kind of showing him how to play like ways that I write. Which I like quick transitions. Odd timing, and it's fun trying to
Someone had to.
show me that.
Oh, sorry. I thought someone was knocking on the door.
No, I don't think so.
They're coming to get you, dude.
La migra. But yeah, you're just working on that stuff.
Yeah, just band those things, and then just doing Swampfoot like legit, like
Yeah.
for like the first time, I guess. Like doing that for real. Because I mean, it's always been kind of like what I used, as like my name for stuff.
Yeah.
But like I had with making beats and such, just making music that came to my head at the time. Because I have like a number of things that I've messed with over the years, but it never like occurred to me to just kind of like put myself out there. So even like transferring everything from SoundCloud to Spotify, which is pretty much what I'm doing right now. It's like everything that's on there is pretty much old
Yeah.
or older.
So you have stuff on Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the things that I've uploaded there are typically things I've done in the past that you could have found on my SoundCloud, but like no traffic was occurring there, and I wasn't really putting it there for that reason. So once I did that, I noticed that people were like giving me some feedback, and I was like, oh damn, that's cool. And it kind of like occurred to me like, man, I should have been doing this like that a long time ago, you
Yeah.
know. But I'm glad I am now, So that's why like I tried making the shirts out of that design my brother made,
Yeah.
kind of just put myself out there like more serious as like an individual like artist, and like I'm like putting like stuff that my alone time, I'm putting that out there for the world, and stuff that I'm doodling, it's my art, like even like the handwriting.
Yeah.
Like it's a font that I've made out of my actual handwriting.
Yeah.
So like it's a lot of me, in it. It's a lot of expression of myself. So I was putting myself out there for the first time. Seriously, it was kind of cool. Makes you nervous, but it's gonna be cool. So like the stuff I'm working on right now is new. But outside of that, writing new things for Hit 'Em Where It Hurts, and just trying to learn everything I can about the arm stuff, so that way I can, meet those dudes where they're at, and have a good time.
That's what's up, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Look
tight.
forward to it.
Me too, man. It's fun thus far, So especially I can get caught up in the garage, like just in the lab, just doing my thing for hours, dude. I have so much fun.
Tight.
So before I end it, I just want to say thank you for coming on, and you kind of played like you had like a big impact on my life as far as like the friendships that I've made, because the majority of them were through you, and like the amount of people that I know, and like the things I've been able to experience was because of you. So like, thank you for that.
Well, that's nice, man. Appreciate that.
Same here, dude. You've showed me so many bands, jamming with you, dude. It's been awesome, dude. And like, I'm happy you're still making music. I'm happy you have a family, a beautiful family. Everyone's healthy. Like, you have a bright future, dude. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, same here. You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really nice. Thanks. Appreciate that. Except for you, Brady.
Nah, but I mean, I wouldn't know these guys if it wasn't for you.
Yeah, and for the record,
thanks, dude.
Damn, dude.
I remember telling Birdie, I was like, dude, you're not gonna meet a better group of friends,
That's true. Like, I haven't, like, even to the guys that I haven't, like, dude, I hardly see Val, and every time I see him, like, his face lights up like a little kid.
Yeah, dude.
I wouldn't want to be in any other friend group.
It's like the island of misfit toys,
Yeah.
Like there's a frequency we all dial into,
It's like a brotherhood almost.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Especially right now, because I'm like working 2 jobs, so I'm like, I hardly have time to sleep, let alone kick it. But like days like this where I make time to be here, wouldn't want to be anywhere else with these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can also remember, dude, like, you can always hit me up too, like, if you ever need anything, like.
I'm busy that day.
I wasn't even talking to you.
The adults are talking.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
No, yeah, but
Yeah.
and same with you guys. You guys can always come to me about anything.
I definitely need to work on that a lot more, on like hitting people up, because I'm starting to realize that I'm a little too isolated.
I feel the same way. I think it's just because if it's not in front of my face, I forget it exists.
But then like I overthink and I get too filled with anxiety. I'm like, I probably shouldn't hit up Eddie right now because he's busy. No, I probably shouldn't hit up Fidel because he's tired. Yeah. Or I probably shouldn't hit up Jose because he's busy being a dad or something.
Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely, there's like been days lately where I'm just like I want to hit people up, but then I'm like, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
But
It sounds exhausting.
But then at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm a little too isolated. I should really get out there, So something else to work on,
Well, I love you, man.
Love you too.
Great.
I was gonna say I love you too, but I take it back now.
You're welcome. You're the reason I'm an asshole, actually.
Really?
Remember, I used to be quiet and like I didn't talk shit coming around, and then you and Evan were always like roasting each other, and then I just started joining in.
It was like in like Frankenstein's monster, like it's like, oh, he's alive, But I didn't realize that I was creating something nuts. Yeah, so I had to like not be a jerk anymore, and now you're just
Ruthless.
no one's safe, dude. No one's safe, dude.
I'm like I said, the only one who really like can like get me or like roast me like worse is Anthony.
Oh yeah,
Anthony's the only one, dude.
He's hilarious, dude.
He always he like sneakily does it too.
Sneakily.
Yeah.
Sneakily, dude. He'll get me, and I'm just like, fuck, man, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Shout out Anthony, man.
That's
a good
Anthony,
dude.
he designed our logo. that
Oh,
we
that's
still
dope.
use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. I don't think he listens though, but
No?
that's fine.
That's
you.
tight, dude. He doesn't listen.
You mean
I
I
respect
respect
I love that guy.
Fuck you, Anthony. But yeah, man, like I said, thank you for coming on, letting us pick your brain, talk music, go down memory lane. I don't care. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
I'll say it.
No,
Say
that's-
what I say.
Yeah, anytime, dude. I mean, you guys have the best podcast. for
That's what's
real.
up.
Like, you guys, I tune in all the time, man. It's
That's
just
what's
awesome.
up.
you
Are you
know?
gonna listen to this one?
Probably, you know,
Yeah.
Spotify, pay
just to
me.
make sure that I didn't like sound silly.
I didn't even have your mic on.
Good. we'd be doing your listeners a favor.
That's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, thank you. I'll have a link for your music, so people could check it out.
Yeah. Spotify, Swampfoot, no vowel. It's no vowels. Yeah,
No
it's all
vowels.
consonants.
All consonants.
Yeah.
Swampfoot. One word.
Yeah, and I got some shirts, you know, kind of low key. So if you're interested,
Let me
let me
have
know.
I mean, let me buy one. My bad.
Fucking birdie.
Like, tell me how you really feel, dude.
My bad.
But yeah, I'll have a link for that in the description of the episode, along with our link for all our shit.
Yeah.
I got tired of repeating everything, so it's just all in one link.
Nice.
But yeah, see you guys next time.
Late.